hours, dude. 100%. We could do this entire podcast about Jim Jones. That's how much. I recently watched a video of him being jumped by two men, and one of them in their 60s, the other one like 70-something years old, in the airport.
Oh, you talking about when Jim Jones is on the escalator?
On the escalator, dude. One of the guys was knocked out cold on the floor. He was like this 80-year-old man.
Yo.
And he's like, he wasn't even going to get touched. I feel bad, but he jumped in with the other one. Then boom, boom, bam. I just want to go home. That's what he was saying. Jim Jones is undoubtedly the oldest young dude you'll ever see in your life. And for a guy that does as many like pull-ups and shit as he does, like he was breathing mad hard at the end of that fight. Dude was gassed. But I guess we should start by talking about, this is Masters of None episode 268 or around there. I hope. And a lot of stuff to talk about today. A ton of stuff. Not just political stuff. I feel like the news is taking a turn now. It's still like driven by like fundamental racism and like racist undertones on like all the topics that are coming up, but or at least on like the biggest topics that people are talking about right now, like the Bad Bunny thing. First of all, do we always know this early who's playing in the Super Bowl? Is it always this soon?
Is it this soon? Like, do they plug it this early and start the marketing and advertisement and shit?
Isn't the Super Bowl in February?
Yeah.
Why do we know now? I feel like we didn't know Lil Wayne wasn't playing last Super Bowl till like 2 weeks before.
That's true. But then again, Lil Wayne didn't know. Lil Wayne's one of those people that just, he shows up when he wants. They tell him to do something.
Yeah, he should have played the Super Bowl though.
I wonder when they started plugging up the Kendrick Lamar.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There was no confirmation that it was Kendrick. Most certainly not this early. So now I think they're probably riding that whole Bad Bunny wave that's going on right now with the recent ending of his residency, and he's hot anyways. But I think that they're jumping on that wave.
I think if you look at it, I'm sure they analyzed his numbers during this stream. Yeah. And they were like, oh, because if you notice, it was announced after the unbelievable success of that YouTube stream. I mean, that Amazon Prime stream.
Well, Bad Bunny's not going to sign a contract right before he puts on one of his biggest shows ever, because now he's going to say, this is why I asked for 4 times the amount of money that Kendrick got.
Yeah, but the thing is, artists that perform at the Super Bowl don't directly get paid. It's an unpaid performance.
Oh, they're going to be making a large donation to somebody's like Patele fucking, factory or some shit like that. Yeah, there's going to be like a large donation made to some. I think the NFL or the NBA, I think it's the NBA that's going through that right now with one of their players. They paid him the cap, and then they also donated like a bunch of money to a charity that he happens to be associated with that's owned by his uncle or some shit like that.
Well, that's kind of the way these things always go. Yeah. Honestly, there's always some kind of dirt like this. You're right. There's going to be some bounce around of money. It's going to go to like the guy's, account that played the cuatro up on the waterfall.
Yeah, Bad Bunny doesn't win from this situation. He's an international superstar. He's like, I guess playing at the Super Bowl might be like, I guess like an honor for a lot of artists. For whatever reason, I don't see that being Bad Bunny's like thing, where he feels like, my dream is to play for the Super Bowl. I could totally see Weezy thing because he's a big football fan. He, he's done guest appearance on shows analyzing sports. He's a big sports guy in general. They're doing it they did it in his home city. Like, it made perfect sense for Lil Wayne to headline the last Super Bowl. Didn't, whatever, no big deal. But I don't think that, that lines up for Bad Bunny. It's not like they're doing it in Puerto Rico. If they were doing it in Puerto Rico,
it'd be different.
For
sure. And I can't, when I think about Bad Bunny doing it, listen, I am a bilingual Puerto Rican male, 100% Puerto Rican. I'm one of the few 100% Puerto Ricans that weren't born in Puerto Rico, but speak the language, right?
When it comes to Puerto Ricans,
How many do you know?
There's not a lot. I'm half Puerto Rican. I'll tell you right now, from my Puerto Rican side, maybe, dude, I could think of off the top of my head like 2 or 3 of my cousins that actually speak Spanish.
Yeah.
From my Puerto Rican side. Like
Yep.
cousins, like my generation and younger.
Yeah.
Their kids definitely don't speak it. But I could think of like maybe 2 that speak the language. And my Dominican side, they're all still in DR, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they all are very fluent in Spanish. But in general, I feel like Puerto Rican, that's one of the cultures that, for whatever reason, the generation that we're at, like that we were born in, they lost the language.
Yeah, it's even before that. It's even before that. I think it was like the birth of like the real New York Puerto Rican that just became its own identity.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, so the reason I bring that up is like we like Bad Bunny. I don't know if you like Bad Bunny. I'm sure.
I love Bad Bunny.
Yeah. So we support Bad Bunny and we really listen to his music. I mean, he's got like 5 songs that are on, you know, I have at least 4 or 5 songs on my wrap ups and shit like that. That's on there. We support the guy. But I do think it's kind of crazy that the halftime show at the American Super Bowl is going to be a non-English speaking performer. The guy speaks no English. You know what I'm saying? And this is American football.
Yeah.
The language of the country is English.
Yeah, correct.
You know? So
and he don't have no English songs.
And he don't have no English songs, bro. And I don't want him to have no English songs. That's not your thing. Headline the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? Do a big, massive performance at something like that. Whatever, the World Series of Baseball. Yeah, it's American language, but there's a lot of immigrants that play that sport.
That's a lot more American than football, though.
It's America's pastime. Yep, you're right. We can't have that either. You're not going up there singing the national anthem in Spanish at the World Series. You're right. That's not going to happen. But I do think it's a little crazy. I mean, and this is coming from somebody that is the same race as that guy.
Yeah.
I speak the same language as that guy. There's probably some kind of lineage where some distant relative on that little ass island, they merge up there.
And you're a fan of his music, too.
Yes, and I'm a fan of his music. But it is kind of crazy that they're going to have a non-English speaking performer at the halftime of the Super Bowl. That's how I feel. How do you feel? Because it's fucked up because it doesn't really affect us. We're like, oh, this show's going to be hard. But you got to think about it. There's a lot of people that aren't going to get to enjoy this show.
Okay, so here's the thing. You make a very good point. Because I think that some people are saying this and is being interpreted as racism. When you say it, it's kind of like, oh.
I can't be racist, so I can't in this situation.
In this situation, I think that you've given a very logical perspective.
Yeah.
I had a list of non-Americans.
See, they can't disqualify me speaking the truth because of... You can't tell me shit about having an opinion about that.
Also, your perspective is based on the language, which I think is the biggest part. So, you know, you're saying that because he doesn't speak English and doesn't have any English songs, and this is an American event that's being broadcasted, you know, in English. I'm sure there's a Spanish broadcast too, whatever. It should be, you know, an American artist. Or no, not an American artist, but somebody who speaks English.
Somebody that speaks English. Have it be U2. Have it be, you know, Coldplay. It doesn't have to be an American band. Just a band that speaks English. You could have the Dropkick Murphys up there for all I care. Like, and I'd be like, I get down with it.
What about Shakira? When she did it.
Shakira too, because she crossed over.
Did she have English songs?
Yeah, she got English songs, bro. You crazy? They had to teach her English. They had to, man. She crossed over big time. Dude, she got records with Beyonce and shit. Like, she crossed over belly dancing with Beyonce in the video with Sean Paul talking about doom, or whatever like he's doing.
Yeah, I can. All the foreigners that I had written down, for the most part, all speak English. Shakira doesn't speak English, but somebody trains her to say these words in a certain way, cadence, and she can repeat them to make a song.
Yeah, she just makes sounds with her face.
Yeah.
She just replicates sounds with her face. She speaks by ear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
100%.
she's like a Filipino karaoke singer.
And she is Shakira in prison? Wasn't she getting arrested in Spain for tax evasion? Did we figure out? Has anybody heard from Shakira?
You think anybody's gonna lock up Shakira, bro? She's Colombian.
The Spaniards they'd love to fucking conquer them again.
Bro, everybody outside. Well, listen to me, outside. Everybody in power politically is subject to bribes.
Yeah,
everybody.
This is one of the powerhouses in Europe, though. But it doesn't matter. These are the foreigners I had that performed at the Super Bowl.
Let's go.
Shakira,
Impress me.
and there's more than this. These are just the people I've written down.
Good.
Shakira,
U2,
U2, The Who, Rihanna. Not Americans.
Not Americans.
That's not what you're saying. You're saying English speakers, which is a better way of looking at it.
It's the language. It's people aren't going to know the majority of America is not Hispanic. And the Super Bowl is for America. It's for America. It's a global thing, but it's an American thing.
Yeah.
The majority of people in America do not speak Spanish. So for that reason, I think you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be considerate of that. I get it. You guys want to trust me. I love that you're giving the guy an opportunity. He's an incredible megastar. It looks great for my people.
But what about the fact that music transcends language and that everybody enjoys Bad Bunny? I knew a couple people who didn't speak Spanish but loved to listen to like reggaeton.
I know quite a few of those people. So if that's what you're saying, then let's go.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, I guess I'm thinking of football fans. I'm thinking of this 55-year-old fat guys with the beer gut that are throwing beers back and betting money. The same guys that are watching NASCAR in the off season.
Well, those guys most certainly didn't want Rihanna up there.
They didn't mind to look at her, though. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. Like all these guys, like George Washington and these guys, they had mixed babies.
Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick, they weren't a fan of, but their daughters were on TikTok talking about they not like us. They not like us. And they were like, oh, this is catchy, this tune. And then they're like, this is the guy? This is the guy right here? Huh? They not like us. They not like us, you know?
He's not like us.
He's definitely not like us, huh? So I think that there is a possibility for sure to cross over. You're probably right. You're right. You are for sure. Because I know a hell of a lot of people that love Bad Bunny's music, but don't know what he's saying.
But at the same time, we live in a very diverse area.
We do.
And
even if you don't speak the language, you're influenced by the culture.
Well, you have no choice. You got to order fast food at some point around here.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really like, if you look at, but we are the minority. New York, Florida, Texas, California, these places, not just California, but also like Arizona, Nevada, all those places that once were in Mexico. They
we're on stolen land.
They stole it from the Native Americans. So it's like the story gets deep. It was Mexico, but before it was Mexico, it belonged to the Navajos, or whoever it was that was over there. Doesn't matter. Anyways, all those states, like we're super diverse and may not mind it, but I think that we're the minority where it comes to the rest of America that may not be fans of Bad Bunny, or not even dislike him, but just not know who he is enough to think that he should be able to headline the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And this is a good point that you're making, because think about all of the halftime artists for the most part. They're not currently known artists. They're artists that have been working for a long time, or they're classic artists.
Yeah.
They're the Red Hot Chili Peppers 15 years after they were super relevant.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson, years after she was super relevant. I mean, 50 Cent, forever after he was really, really relevant. But what happens is they're going after that audience that's like the parents are listening to this, so therefore their kids are familiar with it. So it's this double, you know what I'm saying? It's this double reach there.
Do you think that they were possibly influenced by the international numbers that come from Bad Bunny and are saying we are trying to expand this past the American audience? and into an international audience. So you guys can all shut the fuck up because you're gonna watch it anyways, all right? We got the commercials for you guys. The commercials are for you cocksuckers. Now, we're gonna bring Bad Bunny in for the rest of the world.
Because the rest of the world is going to look at him and be like, damn, that's Bad Bunny. That's what's up. And America's going to be like, let's watch this piece of shit Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
You know? And they'll get everybody. You're right. You just solved it. You solved the Rubik's Cube. We just talked this out and you figured it out.
Yeah, I think that they're shooting for a different demographic. We worked this out. This is a two-person thing.
That's what this was. This was, you guys witnessed a genius monologue, not a monologue, it's two of us, dialogue that just became a true, I'm telling you right now, that's the thing.
Yeah.
People are probably like, duh, idiots.
Yeah, they probably were screaming that shit. They're like, they're trying to get the world to watch.
100%. But you're probably right, dude.
Yeah, we could move on.
Let's move on. That's it. Mic drop.
Speaking of Americans,
let's go.
Specifically New Yorkers, do you want to talk about the Ryder Cup? Is this too obscure? I maybe not, the game itself, but the events that went on.
I think we have to, being that we're avid golfers ourselves.
Justin and I are golfers.
That's it. I mean, we've each called some shots.
I had my second birdie this weekend.
Shut up.
Yes, on the 9th hole.
Get out of here. Was it a par 3 or a par 5?
It was a par 3.
Par 3. On the green in one.
On the green in one.
Yes.
Putted in, club length away from the hole.
Sunk the putt.
What
hole was it, 8 or 9?
9th hole.
9th hole.
The worst. I was like, dude, when I tell you.
What'd you play? A 7-iron?
I played a 5-wood.
A 5-wood?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, I don't even have one of those in my bag. I'm scared of that club.
I never hit it before in my life.
Bet you love that club now.
Dude, are you crazy? That club's 173 locked in. I got that fucking puppy. What do they call it when the people lock their scope in? And
Zeroed in.
That shit's zeroed in. 173. All right. Anyways, the Ryder Cup. For people who don't know, the Ryder Cup is a weekend series or a series of golf games where the Americans will compile a team of American golfers, and the massive Europe will compile a team of all the best European golfers, and they'll play against each other. It's every 2 years, and they trade where they play at. I guess every 2 years, right?
They alternate. It's either in Europe or it's in the U.S.
Yeah. I've been doing some research, and I've learned that a lot of years compiled of things like this, like fans getting kind of crazy. But this year takes the cake. Where it comes to, they played this year in America in our backyard. For real, our backyard. Yes, on Long Island in Bethpage. Bethpage Black, known to be one of the hardest golf courses in the world. Happens to be, Tom Brady could hit Bethpage Black from our spot.
Yeah.
And Long Island didn't welcome the Europeans the way they wanted to be welcomed.
No, it's sad, honestly, because first of all, Europe was kicking our ass.
Yeah.
For the first 2/3.
Yeah.
Of that tournament, but it was disgraceful. I'll be honest.
It's tough to say because here's the thing. They almost took like a baseball, football approach from like a fan's perspective. They were chanting asshole. They were throwing beers on the players. They were doing things that in other sports isn't unheard of. Still disgusting, but isn't unheard of.
Dude, they hit Rory McIlroy's wife in the head with a beer.
Yeah, she was walking with him. I think that was a line of sight thing. I don't think that was like I was aiming for his wife. I think that she's a casualty of war. Dude. They were saying the wildest shit.
Somebody called him out and called him a faggot.
And he was like, security, get him out of here. He's like, for what? For what? He said, for calling me a faggot. And he walks away. It's like, also, he was crying like a bitch. I ain't gonna lie. I felt bad for him, but I'm like, this is what fucking happens. You come to New York and you guys play this. I get it. It's a gentleman's game and there's no room for stuff like that. But I think it's tough because it's the crowd. It's not like the players,
It's not the players. I'm talking about simply just the people that were there watching, spectators, you can't behave that way at golf. That's not what it is. There's certain sports, there's certain cultures where you just don't do that. You don't do that in martial arts. You don't do that in golf. There's just certain places where that's not the way that you support the sport. And it's assimilate to it. You know, wear your collared shirt. I mean, think of how much have we assimilated into playing golf so that we just ride the vibe. We like to play this game. We want to be accepted in, and you got to be a certain way sometimes to be accepted in places that you want to be.
You got to act like you've been here before. And I think that what happens is that there's a new age golfer now. There's younger people looking at the sport. There's people on the internet behaving like animals, and these people are going out and kind of, you know, imitating that internet behavior now, and it's just kind of infected golf. And there's a heightened level of patriotism within that happens to cross over because it's the same demographic. There's a heightened level of patriotism within a certain demographic, and that demographic crosses over perfect with the golf demographic. It does. It's kind of affluent American,
yes, you know, that kind of vibe. And those people tend to have certain views. I mean, they've done well for themselves. You know, a lot of the people that are involved, golf's expensive as hell.
Nobody there was eating ramen noodle that night.
No, and I would probably say it's safe to say less than 10% of people there probably don't play the game.
Yes.
It's one of those things. If you don't play golf,
100%.
You're not there supporting that shit.
I would think the number's probably even
lower. 5%.
Yeah, 5%.
5%
of the people there got invited, and they're coming up with somebody, a company thing. Bing,
or they
bang,
got
boom.
a company, like you know, company comp ticket or something like that. And they were just like, this would be a cool experience. The majority of people are playing.
So when you bring out that level of patriotism, plus this new infectious, I'm going to throw dildos at professional athletes mentality, and you combine those two, and then you combine also the fact that these guys have been cranking beers since 5 a.m. People slept in the parking lot to get in on time. You know, they were they opened the doors at 5 a.m. and there's videos of dudes online cranking Miller Lights at 5 a.m. You combine all those things together, you're going to go from USA to fuck you, Rory, really quick.
Yeah, and that's what it did. Wasn't that chant led by one of the announcers?
I'm pretty sure she got fired for that.
Yeah, dude, I think they said she quit. Soon after she apologized.
They said she quit. She must have been hammered drunk. There was a clip of her telling everybody that they took too much Adderall that morning. She said, all right, guys.
Shut up.
She's trying to do like that We Will Rock You theme, but they're trying to match it to Let's Go Scotty or some shit like that.
Okay.
And she's like trying to lead the clap, and she claps too fast. The audience follows the cadence, and they clap too fast. She goes, whoa, slow down, guys. I see you all took your Adderall this morning. Slow down. We're going to do it slower than that. And then they start clapping and shit, and they're doing the thing. And then she leads them on a chant to, allegedly, because I haven't seen this clip as much as I look for it, allegedly she leads the crowd on a chant of "fuck you, Rory," as one of the Europeans' best players, come up to shoot a fucking to come off the tee.
Damn, I didn't see that video either. And if that happened, dude, there's no excuse, man. That's not how.
But if that was baseball.
But it's not.
But I know. But if we were in a baseball park or we were in a football park, I don't even think it's really like a basketball thing. Maybe it is. I just haven't been to enough games to say. But if you're in a New York arena, this is not wild to hear. I grew up going to Shea, and I wasn't allowed to curse unless I was calling one of the guys on the opposing teams an asshole, and I was following the crowd. My dad would look over to me to make sure I was following the chants of asshole, asshole. You know, that is New York sports. As much as we don't like it, and it's disgusting, and it's also on brand with the way people perceive us.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's the disappointing thing is that we lived up to what people think it is in New York. I've seen people online. They're like, this is typical New York behavior. I visited there once with my family. I'm from the Netherlands or something. It's disgusting. Like everybody thinks we're repulsive, you know, and then you have a big classy event like this.
And somebody throws a beer at your
And
wife.
somebody hits Rory McIlroy from Ireland's wife in the head with a beer while they're calling him a faggot. Like, what are we talking about?
Animals. We are animals. It's disgusting.
Dude,
I'm not proud of this. It's just how it happened.
Yeah, so my point being, we can't do that everywhere. You don't do it at church. You can't be like, that's New York. You know what I'm saying? He told the priest go fuck himself. Like, you can't do that, dude.
It's also
There's just a cultural.
It's Europe versus America, bro. It's like it's another level, you know? When they got everybody's out there, fucking Trump's in office.
Imagine
they're
this.
chanting USA.
Yeah. These colors don't run.
You know me.
These colors don't run.
You know me. I don't like that kind of shit. I might have been out there fucking throwing a couple lines out, you know, throwing a couple one-liners at their players as they came across.
You want to hear something?
These guys are ready to fight. The players were not ready for this. It's not like the NBA and the NFL. All these guys could ignore them. There's a couple wild, loose ones that be jumping in the crowd fighting people. For the most part, they ignore it. These golfers weren't ready. They're fucking playing into it.
Yeah.
Responding back
Rory
to the
was
people.
cursing people out.
Yeah, dude.
See that video where he was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
Yeah, just
yelling at
sings a
everybody.
pot,
It's like-
and then looks over at the crowd and starts individually calling people
That
out.
I loved.
I love that shit.
I can't lie. I thought that. I was like, damn, Rory's up in it. He's like, I'm going to have a pint after this, after I son all you guys.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm sure that victory tasted better for them after what they went through to fucking to get through it. That
They're not paying
champagne-
for another beer for the next 8 years.
Oh, no.
You know, till the next Ryder Cup, there'll be no bill on any of those guys, you know, at any pub.
Yeah, can we talk about why they got to get all of Europe to go against us? All
America
of
is
Europe?
huge. If America was in any other part of the world, it'd be like 7 countries. You know, that shit would be divided all crazy. There'd be a little Jersey be its own country.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Montana and surrounding 5 states would be its own country. And you're like, oh, okay, why are they so big?
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I did. There was something I wanted to say about I know a guy that was at the Ryder Cup on Sunday. Did I tell you about that?
Oh, no.
Dude, he was at the Ryder Cup and he said because he went on Sunday, he was like, the security and the cops was crazy different than the first 2 days. He said that there was a guy near him that starts yelling to one of the European players. He's like, oh, you got a little dick or something like that. He yells at him, right? He said right away, the police run up on the guy and they're like, one more word out of you and you're out of here. The guy looks at him and he says, all right, noted. Don't talk about the dicks. And he said the whole place lost it even more than the original heckling.
Yeah.
You know, they were all laughing. He said, noted, don't mention the dicks.
Dude, it's like it goes hand in hand with New York sports. Rory fixing his collar and somebody yells over at him, you're not going to need that collar buttoned up to choke. That is New York sports. It's I get it. It's repulsive, but it's par for course. It's what you're going to go through when you come and play over here. In any other sport, does it belong in golf? Probably not. Is it what fucking happened? Yeah.
So how do you feel about it? Do you think, like, you know, you're saying pretty much what everybody's thinking, right? New York, this is on par for New York, unfortunately. You come here, people should have had more class. It doesn't belong in golf, but it is what you expect from New York sometimes. But what say you?
I don't think that there's a play. I would like to reserve golf to, you know, continuing to be something for gentlemen. But at the same time, I got to be realistic and say, because it's New York sports and the fact that it's the United States versus Europe, when you start to bring in that level of, it's not just 2 Americans going at it and we're all winning at the end of the day.
It's a
This
simulation
is
of war.
USA.
It's a simulation of war.
Yeah,
you know,
we're playing for keepsies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we're playing for keeps.
Yeah, yeah. And you got to just let them know these colors don't run. You're not going back to your respective countries.
Are we
and saying,
fucking
and what did they do? Bust our ass. But at least they beat us in golf. Come see us in football. Come see us in basketball. Come see us in boxing.
Dude,
you know, come see us in any other sport. Come see us in bobsled, bro. I don't care
Bring the
what
Jamaicans
it is.
in if we have to. No, but yeah, it is disappointing that we lost. Acting that way and losing, I can only imagine if we would have won. They would have burned Bethpage to the ground.
Yeah, I'm disappointed, man.
And you got to think.
I'm disappointed, dude.
Like you said, it's an affluent crowd. You and I weren't there because the tickets were absolutely ridiculous.
They're ridiculous. My buddy paid $1,500 for 2 tickets for one day, and he bought them like 4 or 5 months ago.
$1,500.
$750 a pop.
There was people from all around the world that came. I watched a ton. I watched so many videos from the Ryder Cup, like independent YouTubers who were sleeping in the parking lot, and the diversity of people who came from everywhere from like South Africa to like, coming from across the country were coming here to watch this event. So great event. Sucks that United States lost. Did we act like animals? 100%. Is it more than likely that the Ryder Cup is not going to come back to Long Island anytime soon? Yeah. But you know what? It wasn't coming back soon anyways. They play every 2 years, and then next time it's going to be somewhere in Europe. It'd be crazy to think that we're going to get it back to back or it's going to be 4 years before it even comes back to the United States, let alone had the possibility of come back to Long Island. So they'll forget that we hit Rory's wife with a beer in due time. These wounds will heal.
They will heal. Something I thought was interesting was he said the people that were the worst behaved where he was, and mind you, he walked the entire course. He said he walked like 40,000 steps. He was like, you could walk the whole course with the tickets he got. So it's like you're going from like hole to hole, tee to tee, whoever you want to watch. He's like, you lock on to 2 players if you want during like the day they were there. That's what they were doing. He's like, and you just watch them play. He's like, as much as you want.
Who did he say was the worst people there? What race were they?
Dude, he said it wasn't a race, but he said America was getting their ass beat so bad. Yeah. He said that a lot of Americans left. And he said the funnest, nicest people there were the Europeans. He said the Europeans were super welcoming. Everybody I talked to, he's like, they were so kind. And it was so easy to talk to them.
Well, they're guests.
They are guests.
Go to Europe and try to go to a soccer game and see how they treat you. Did you see what they just did in soccer? This is crazy that we're talking about this, right? Because just yesterday, or today, very early in the morning, at 1:55 a.m., Galatsky, I guess they're playing Liverpool, and they set off fireworks
inside the park,
in front of the parking lot of the hotel. They were setting off fireworks to wake up the players so they have a bad night's sleep in preparation for the game.
Get out of here.
That's the level of fucking, commitment that we need. If anything, I think we didn't do enough at the Ryder Cup. I think there wasn't enough pre and post game, activities happening.
Yeah.
I think there should have been, there should have been at least one hotel ransacked.
Yeah, they should have put a little paprika and a little too much paprika in Rory McIlroy's caviar.
Yeah, put a little bit they should put more salt in his beans that morning. Dehydrate him for his breakfast. No, but so when
should have withheld the potatoes.
Yeah, when you look at shit like that, it's like this is what sports brings out. I get it. There's no room for it in sports, but I'm just making the comparison between what the soccer hooligans are doing and what
Last thing about this is the age demographic that he noticed. He said it was the drunk people in their 20s and the people above 50.
Hammered.
He said those were the worst behaved people. He's like, everybody in the middle, from like late 20s to like early 40s, mid 40s, he's like, those people were normal. He's like, everybody older. He said they were saying crazy shit. He said they were saying, well, who's the Asian guy? I think he plays from Australia, something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
This guy, he said there was some 50-something-year-old guy in the crowd. It's like, yeah, what if Trump, with it takes away their visas, their work visas, then we'll just win. It would just be, we'll just win the whole thing. And he's like, what? He said, what are you talking about? So you got these idiots.
That's the golf demographic, though.
Yeah, and which is, he said that was like the people over 50. He didn't say those were certain people. No, he said everybody here over 50, that's what they were doing in my section.
Listen to me right now. You could go on any golf course in America any day and break many rules as long as you're going to be flying that fucking Trump 2020 whatever flag. If you have one of those puppies, like a pin, or like you just staple one to your golf bag,
yeah,
you can take a couple mulligans. You can bring your bag into the clubhouse.
Yeah.
You can wear your hat in the clubhouse if it's a MAGA hat. Like and it's not. Take that for whatever it is. It's my opinion.
there tends to be a bit more, it kind of goes hand in hand, like we were saying before, but we, even though we are not, Berto and I ride the middle. We don't go ahead, pause. The middle of kind of this political spectrum, kind of just weigh both sides and see what's the smartest concept. And even though we do that and we're not far on the other side or far on this side, we still had to be conscious of, what we say on golf courses, how close people are to us when we say certain things, turn the music down, that kind of thing. You have to be mindful. You have to dress right and shit like that. So that shit was crazy to me. Let's move on.
All right. Let's see. Yo, son. All
What
right.
up?
This is gonna be a short one, but it's interesting.
I'm always into these little short ones. They never turn out to be the shortest. You know what I mean?
This is a funny story.
Go ahead.
What the fuck was that?
I said that's what she said.
Oh, I thought that came out of I thought you hit
You thought I had a sound clip?
I thought you hit a sound clip. You should have hit the sound clip when I told you about that birdie I hit.
Oh well, we got one that tweets.
No, but can you do that?
Oh shit!
Me and Justin, we've been finding different funny memes that we see online that we love to say to each other during, in our outside of the podcast world, and we're trying to throw them on the soundboard. We'll use them periodically. So if you guys hear funny things, it's us slamming those buttons.
Can you do that?
Can you do that?
Can you do that? We're going to put you to the test.
That's what I said right after I hit that birdie. Anyways, an influencer.
Yes.
One of these guys gives
one of these guys that don't do shit but gets people to think he does shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, he gives a man $100,000. Finds a guy in need.
A Hondissimo?
Gives him $100,000.
Okay.
Good on him. Guy gets $100,000. This guy gets set up, kidnapped, and held for ransom.
What are you talking about?
He gets his money and he gets kidnapped, beat up, and held for ransom by his own family after finding out that he got gifted that $100,000. His own nephew.
What are you talking about? Oh, so it was one family member. I pictured the whole family, the mom smacking him while he's tied up, dad kicking him and shit.
No.
So it was just a family member, grimy ass cousin that was hating. Let me guess.
It was his
Let me
nephew
guess
with
where this
other
happened.
family members.
Let me guess where this happened.
I don't have a location, but you could give me like a geographic, give me like a compass.
Is this in the U.S.?
Yeah,
Georgia.
it's definitely around there.
Let me see.
Yeah, look it up. Just type in influencer gives man 100,000 or man kidnapped and beaten by nephew. Did I say what up to Chris already? What up, Chris? I give you 2 what's ups if I said what's up with you already. I just think it's so crazy, bro.
Let's see where this
Where
is.
is it? South
Elderly
Carolina?
man gifted $100K by influencer kidnapped, robbed by relatives. Cops say September 30th. Curtis Dixon.
I would say South Carolina.
Yeah.
Damn, North Carolina. I don't know.
GoFundMe. Oh, come on. They trying to make me join some shit so I can read this. 100,000. Let's see. Tears of joy. Blah, blah, blah. Dixon. Damn, it's not saying. Let's see. Identified as Alicia Lopez Martinez to a home. Blah, blah, complaint.
What do you read? What's it say?
I think it was Detroit.
Detroit. Okay.
That was gonna be my second guess.
All right. On brand for Detroit.
Poor ass hood ass states can't do it, bro.
Yo,
and
how
where they're
you-
allowed to
how
be
you
strapped.
kidnap your
That's
uncle?
the thing. It's poor ass hood ass places where you're allowed to be strapped.
Bro,
It's even crazier.
How do you stick up and kidnap and beat up your uncle? This is why when Trump
For
says-
100,000,
For
and that's
100,000.
before taxes. They're gonna end up with like 65 grand.
If they're lucky.
If they're lucky.
All that back child support that guy owes, he's gonna fucking break even. Are you fucking kidding me?
He's still gonna owe
He's
money.
negative.
They're gonna be like, you
He's-
knocked off a third of that.
He's negative, dude. Anyways, it's so crazy because this brings me into I don't know and I almost don't even want to talk about politics stuff, but it's like you see this news where Trump's declaring war on Chicago, New York, and these states where all these shootings are happening, and it's when you see stuff like this, it's well, Someone's gotta fucking figure it out. Even if you don't like this, it's like, well, let's not get crazy. You know, this is the American people we're talking about, and then the American people go and kidnap their uncle.
Yeah, go and kidnap him.
It's like, y'all are making it real hard for me to make this argument that they don't need to send the National Guard in to stop these fools from shooting each other in Chicago.
It's $100,000. That's what's crazy to me. I'm like, dude, you think that's a lot of money? That's gonna last you like 3 months.
No, that dude was gonna flip that dude. That 100,000.
He wasn't gonna flip shit, bro. He was gonna go buy a chain. You know, he was gonna tell his mans, like he was gonna get his man some rims. He was gonna buy a chain, buy an old ass shitty car and paint it for a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then put some expensive ass rims on it with the same old motor that been in there for God knows how long.
Well,
you know,
that's plan. That's phase 2.
yeah, that's it. And then he was going to get hit for the taxes he'd been owing for 20 years. So he's going to still be in debt because now they're going to track him because he got bank activity. So, you know, and it's just going to be this entire disaster.
Bro, how you
Even this guy
rob
that
your-
won the money is fucked. He don't even know he's fucked. He got robbed. Yeah, maybe they'll get the money back. And then the government's going to be like, perfect, we've been looking for you.
Yeah, it's funny you got that money. You didn't call us. You know you owe us.
Right?
Yeah, Wesley
You know me,
Snipes'
owe me, dog.
ass.
You know you owe me, dog.
Crazy. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How you hit it, your uncle?
Please, bro. Come on, bro.
But that's probably one of those uncle brother situations. I had a lot of homies who had uncles that were like a year older than us.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not really an uncle. It's not. There's no like respect for your elders with that. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, bro, you crazy? I'm older than you, and you my uncle.
Yeah.
Like
The
that
fuck?
kind of shit. You my
Yeah.
uncle, but I'm older.
Yeah, facts.
Like, yeah, that kind of shit. That only happens in certain cultures. I've only seen that in Latino and Asian cultures. That's the only cultures I've seen that where there's a younger uncle.
Oh, yeah, definitely Latinos and Asians. Not
Yeah.
really Asians. Asians?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I seen it. I seen it.
Huh.
I seen it. Vietnamese, I think, if I recall.
Sounds like Korean activities.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I have no idea. I'm so.
They were just
I
Josh.
have no idea
But-
what the hierarchy.
but what I'm
of
saying is
races
factual.
is in Asia. So don't take offense to that if you're Korean. Because
I ain't never seen it. I could guess that that's also occurring in a couple other cultures. But just I haven't witnessed it. But I could imagine it's happening.
We played golf this weekend with a friend of mine who is Asian, and that's one of the questions I asked him. I was like, yo, so what country you beef with? Like, what country you not allowed to marry and shit? I was like, keep it a stack. I was like, what country is it? You know, because I had to know.
Yeah, and what'd he say? He said Taiwanese.
No, he was like, oh, no. He was like,
Oh, what'd he do?
Super coy.
What'd he do? He went,
I don't
oh,
know."
he went, oh.
No,
What'd he say?
not like what? No, not like that. No, don't be racist, dude. This guy doesn't even.
That's what it sounded like you were doing.
No. This guy doesn't even speak Mandarin or anything like that. He's like he's not like he's like super American. Anyways, so I was like, I say to him, so like, what country are you guys? And he was like, nah, you know, I don't know, like, not really, we're not really like that. And I
Oh,
was
so
like,
you switched styles. You went crane style.
I was like, so I was like, come on. I was like, look at my boy over here. He's Peruvian. If you had to ask him, it would probably be like Ecuador. They don't really have problems, but you know, they don't want you guys confusing their ceviche. And he was like,
Facts.
And then my buddy goes, oh, it's definitely Japan. He goes, nah, not really Japan. Maybe Korea. I was like, oh, so Korea. Huh? I was like, Koreans are the ones. I was like, interesting. He goes, or maybe Northern China. I don't know. We're not really like that. And I started to get a little more. I was like, that's interesting.
That's it, man. Sometimes you got to chip.
Yeah.
You got to chip, bro.
Yeah, right away, he's like, nah, we don't get down like that. But those goddamn Koreans. Nah, he's cool. He didn't say it that
Oh, my
way.
God. I got something hilarious that happened to me over the weekend, but I'm not going to tell you what it
I'll tell
was.
you a funny story because I want to talk about the shooting at
Yeah,
the
because
Mormon
I can't
church.
say it now.
I want to talk about the shooting at the Mormon church. So let's just get the funny stuff out now. I want to talk about the shootings. Not only that, there was apparently a bunch of other shootings throughout the weekend that happened. Did they change the criteria for mass shootings? How is there 4 of them, but we're only talking about 1?
I don't know if they could do that anymore because they don't call it a mass shooting when somebody hits like 6 ops in Chicago. Like, why is that not a mass shooting?
There's a weird criteria. It's like...
Is it got to be randos?
No, they just changed it, I think. It's kind of like when Trump came in and he goes, certain gang members, now terrorists. If you're an American gang member, not a terrorist. If you're a Salvadorian gang member, terrorist.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to a point, but I think he's considering like imported gangs.
Yeah. I
Right?
mean-
Because I think terrorism, you could call some of them domestic terrorists. I would say that. I would say that there are some groups that cause enough mayhem that are American born and American made to be considered terrorists, but they would be considered domestic terrorists. But still, that term could be used and it's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's only a foreign gang, specific gang.
I think that he, with a lot of the stuff that they do, it's like strategic and it's not necessarily like a direct thing. Like him calling them terrorists is gonna, but it's like other things that it's affected by. It's like, what does the criteria of terrorism, like how does that affect people on other, scales? Not only did
it makes sense, like employment, like things like that. Like it could demonize an entire culture.
Yeah, like like for example, like even like you look at we could get people out who we deem terrorists because they're a danger to society or to the United States. Like the I forgot what they call, like they're a danger to
like national security.
Yeah, national security, or they're a danger to our they're a danger to the democracy, or whatever. They're a danger. We got to get them out of here. They're a danger to the American people. Or you could say, we want this group of people out here and we want to get them out of here with no questions asked, and we don't want to have to pass the red tape. So we're going to label them like this, because if you're labeled like this, we don't have to ask any questions. We just say that you're a terrorist and we got to get you out of here because it's a matter of national security. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, that goes to previous legislation that has been passed, like the Patriot Act and stuff like that, that makes it okay under the pretenses of potential terrorism for them to be able to kind of do whatever they want.
Precisely, exactly.
Yeah, so they're...
But it's interesting how American gangs, are gangs and could be labeled as domestic terrorists, like you said, but they don't fall under that criteria. Similarly to...
Or they could fall under that criteria, but they just don't want to deploy that particular strategy in that instance, which again, it's like, if you're going to do it to some, do it to all kind of deal. Don't just pick and choose who you apply these things to. Yeah. Right. And that's kind of what you're getting at. Right. Essentially. I mean, like at this point, the fact that the KKK is not a terrorist organization. I mean, given they don't seem as active as they once were, but I think that has bled into other gangs and underworld, that it's not just the KKK with white hoods in a forest with burning crosses. Like it's not that anymore. Now these people are like kind of assimilated into other hardcore groups, and those beliefs are carried into those circles. Yeah. But these people aren't considered necessarily that. So why aren't there some? Yeah, I can't disagree.
It has to go from every perspective. You could go. When you begin to like now drag a group into a criteria. There's going to be other groups that, by definition, might meet that same criteria, anywhere from like a Black Israelite to like a KKK member and everything in between, right?
Yeah.
Because they're all like groups of people that, preach hatred or want like negative things to happen to their opposition.
But terrorism has to, I think, be physical. Like there has to be death involved. Like there have to be killings.
Okay, well, you look at the gangs and the KKK. I don't know if the Black Israelites fall underneath the killing portion of it. I think they're more about preaching it. But you look at all these gangs in LA, they're killing each other. You look at the gangs in Chicago, they're killing each other at an alarming rate.
But I think they're only killing each other. That's, I think, also another thing. Like, you're not going to have gangs just randomly killing people. They're always killing people involved in gang activity, typically.
Yeah.
I would say 95% and up. They're not killing the old lady at the grocery store, typically.
But you think, so are we saying that, I'll just use MS-13 because that's the one of the gangs that they identified as like a terrorist organization, or they're now defining as a terrorist organization, like think that they're killing, like they're not just killing gang members?
Oh, I don't know, because now we're going back to that. So yeah, I guess it would have to be applied to everything. Yeah, because right? I don't know if that's the case, because they're probably doing the same thing.
They're killing each other.
It's kind of just, that's how that world operates for the most part. I mean, it's not random people uninvolved typically.
Yes, as opposed to the typical terrorists.
Yeah, who is random people at the mall that got nothing to do with nothing. Like, when's the last time you saw a gangbanger randomly go up into a grocery store and start killing people? That doesn't happen.
No.
I don't care, man. I'll tell you what, man. There's a lot of neighborhoods I know that at the peak of gang activity, it was almost less scary than when the people that are lone doing crazy shit, little groups of 2 and 3 people, that's crazier to me. Yeah. There's like no structure and shit.
Dude, no matter what time it was when I was growing up, my grandmother could always go to the store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it's not dangerous for her. It's not like that's not, terrorism. Terrorism, it's like anybody could get it. Random people could get it. We just want to cause destruction.
Yeah.
But I guess we're going down to way different.
Yeah, but who knows? I don't really know the exact criteria, but I'm sure it's something, super specific. What's going on in there? There's a long ass chat in there that I can't see. You can read that from there, bro?
Yeah, it says, have you guys heard the entire country of Afghanistan is on an internet and cell phone blackout? Apparently, the Taliban ordered it shut down. There must be some heinous shit happening over there. Oh, shit. No, I did not. I didn't know about that. That's crazy. That's control to the ultimate degree. Can you imagine? It's like they just start beheading people in the street and they're like, you know what? Shut down the internet.
It's not happening.
It's not
right?
happening.
It's not happening. It's not on the internet.
Happening.
There's no.
We need the comedians to come to the Riyadh Festival, and we can't allow them to be concerned about the activities that are happening in the Middle East. Take this shit off the internet.
Damn.
How crazy
ultra
is that?
tinfoil, and got me nervous and shit. I'm cracking my knuckles and shit.
Well,
look at this tan line, bro.
It brings us into this conversation. We have this written down too.
Let's go.
Where comedians are under fire for accepting offers to perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival because of the Saudi Arabia controversy.
Good segue.
The controversy in Saudi Arabia surrounding their human rights, their violation of people's human rights.
Wait, so that was in Saudi Arabia that happened?
That's happened. The Riyadh Comedy Festival's in Saudi Arabia. This is happening in Afghanistan.
Okay. So you're talking about this, they're saying that people's rights are violated there in Saudi Arabia, allegedly. What's that?
He's referring, Christian says, it's a mass shooting because it was a church. Duh. They was referring to like how we identify what a mass shooting is and what isn't a mass shooting.
But it's a mass shooting in a school. It's a mass shooting in a church. It's a mass shooting in a grocery store. It's a mass shooting in a shopping mall. So...
It's not a mass shooting if you're in Compton.
Yeah.
If you're in Chirac, it's not a mass shooting.
Yeah.
If you're in a project building of the Bronx, it's not a mass shooting.
Yeah. So I don't know what's a mass shooting if you're at a park, at a cookout. Is that a mass shooting? And somebody airs it out. Fried? Good question.
If there's fish being fried,
if there's fish being fried or there's empanadillas being...
Not a mass shooting. If there is a pig spinning, not a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Burgers, no salt, no pepper.
Yeah, mass shooting. Adobo on the burgers, no mass shooting.
Yeah, it's become very simple. I think we've nailed this down pretty firmly.
I think we have. Look, let's see. What do they say?
Fuck Riyadh. Hold on. It says, fuck Riyadh.
That's what the chat says. It's not what we say.
Church mass shooting. I was making a joke. I think there might have been. It's so funny because I see things up there that aren't in the chat over here. That's interesting. I don't know how that works. Anyways, there's comedians are under fire for
taking money, taking payment to go over there and
because
perform.
They're paying these people crazy amounts of money. And it's funny, Tim Dillon took the money because he was like, this is more money than he's going to make all year with like all his shows combined. And then a few weeks later, he made some jokes that they didn't like criticizing them, and they pulled him off the fucking card.
Oh, so he got pulled after he accepted the double payment.
Yeah,
he was like, all right, I'll make the deal.
That was Tim Dillon, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're thinking about Shane Gillis didn't take the money, and then they think they tried to double up on him, and he still turned it down.
So Tim Dillon made jokes and got himself pulled.
Yeah,
it's the best for him. It's the best for him. Like there's certain people, I'm like, don't go over there. The same for you.
You might not come back.
The same for you, man. Don't go. First of all, if I'm Tim Dillon, I don't go. He's gay.
I don't know.
I wouldn't go. I'd be like, yo, there's.
They don't fuck with you over there.
Yeah, they don't fuck with you over there. It is what it is, man. There's no hate. There's no nothing. This is survival. This is understanding the world.
They definitely didn't know he was gay.
Oh, nah. They would have found out while he's there.
Yeah, they definitely didn't know he was gay. Because he's not like, screaming it from the rooftops.
No.
They didn't know he was gay. That's why he was on the card. But you look at, so here's the thing. And pardon my ignorance. I don't understand the association between Saudi Arabia and the Taliban or Saudi Arabia and 9/11 and what their role was. So I apologize. But people are saying that somehow, some way that they're responsible for it, or they have some kind of correlation between them and I guess the Taliban, right?
I don't know shit about
I don't
any of
know
that.
anything about
I'm
it.
not getting into any of that.
But that's why people are criticizing Pete David, because his dad died in 9/11. And
Oh,
now-
Pete Davidson.
And Pete Davidson is doing a spot out there. There also got guys like Kevin Hart going out there. And another thing that people are saying is that comedy is rooted in, freedom of speech and allowing people to say whatever they want, whether you like it or don't like it. And this is a country that's plagued by human rights violations where they're not allowed to say whatever they want. Comedians that go there won't be allowed to say whatever they want. And it's kind of like I guess other people's perspectives is it's kind of like a fuck you to comedy and a fuck you to America to go over there and perform. But these guys got that oil money and they're slinging that oil dick out, and these guys are all thirsty for it. I mean, if you could afford Kevin Hart and then you still got a big lineup after that, and they got it. It's like they're dealing with unlimited funds.
Yeah, they did it with Liv.
Dude, listen to this lineup: Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Aziz Ansari, Pete Davidson, Andrew Schultz, Joe Coy, Bill Burr, and the list goes on.
Damn. That's every major. You know what's crazy? I went to the Oddball Comedy Fest, like probably going back like 8 years or so. I saw it at Jones Beach. Saw it with my boy Dave. And you want to know who we saw? We saw Hannibal Buress, Sarah Silverman. We saw Bill Burr. We saw what's his name? Come on, who's the redhead dude that got in trouble for making chicks watch him beat off and shit? Come on. Anyway, Hannibal Buress. We saw the roast master Jeff Ross. We saw Dave Attell. I mean, these are the comedians that we saw all in the same night, bro.
That's sick.
Bro, it was crazy.
That's a hell of a lineup.
And we saw him at Jones Beach, and I think the tickets were like $75 or something. It was called the Oddball Comedy Fest. They all did like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. They weren't full sets, but it was incredible.
Yeah.
So to see a lineup like that hasn't happened since. I haven't seen that. I'm telling you, that was something else. That was
Louis
like
CK. Thank you, Chris.
Louis C.K., thank you. Louis C.K. was there. I mean, that lineup is insane. People have never seen a lineup like that. What's he saying?
He said Saudi Arabia also just bought EA.
Yeah, they did just buy EA. I think they bought it for like $24 billion.
Jeez.
Is that what it was?
They're going to have the best cricket game of all time. Cricket 2K26 is going to be crazy. The graphics on the new fucking Cricket 2K26 is going to be out of this fucking world. 50 billion, you're right. Jesus Christ.
50 billion. Jesus Christ, man.
But yeah, so the internet's up in arms right now. What do you say? What do you say? If they offered us money to go out there and perform?
I mean, it's tough because people could say what they want until life-changing money is offered to them.
Dude,
everybody has an opinion.
I'm putting on the white robe. I'm putting on the white headpiece. I'm throwing the fucking diamond on the front
Come
of it.
on, bro. I'm
The
doing
ruby,
whatever. I'm just trying to be cool with whoever because
the sandals.
think about that. Like, everybody can say what they want. Everybody has an opinion, right? Everybody has an opinion until that money is thrown their direction, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to talk all this talk. When somebody says, we'll give you $8 million, we'll give you $20 million, we'll give you $15 million. $15 million?
Dude, $15 million? I won't tell anybody I went to the Riyadh Festival, but they'd be signs. I'd come back with a tiger.
Bro.
I'd have Raja himself in my crib. I would be, that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't blame these people. But also, I'm not one of the people that are up in arms. Like, I'm mentioning this because it's a trending story on the internet, but the truth is it's like, how do I blame these guys for taking this crazy amount of money when I would do the same? It's like,
You don't know you do the same, but you would consider it. I don't blame these people. That's my thing. I don't know if I would do it because you never know unless you're presented with it and then you really think about things and you start to think about implications. Like Shane Gillis he's got a very conservative audience. He can't take that money. He would destroy the foundation of his career. That's what a lot of people. He drinks Bud Light. You know, he does a Donald Trump impression. He does like this guy is kind of.
He can't get hit with the China James allegations.
Yeah, he can't, dude. He can't get hit with that shit. What's the chat say?
Says apparently I blame them. I blame them 100% because he's referring to you can't blame them for wanting to take this money. I guess what you're saying is correct, right? I don't know what I would do in that situation. I'm looking at it from the perspective of somebody who doesn't have any millions of dollars, not even almost millions of dollars. So if they offered me $50 million, it's significantly different than them offering
Dave Chappelle
$50 million. Yeah. Interesting, Dave Chappelle's on that list because he's somebody who's kind of stood on business in the past and didn't let money dictate his decisions.
I mean,
maybe he doesn't see
money
this.
dictated his decisions eventually. I mean, he was like, I ain't never going back to comedy. I ain't doing like, I mean.
But I don't think he came back for money. I think he came back for the love of the game.
And he came back because they gave him his shit back.
And he got a huge check, right?
Yeah, he got a huge check. He got the rights back to all his shit. And I think he sold 3 stand-ups, routines he had in his pocket, 3 stand-up hours that he put in his own pocket and held on to them. And then he sold them for like, I think it was a $40-something million, $50 million lump sum. Dave Chappelle sold 3 stand-ups for like $50 million.
Yeah.
You know, and that became his kind of way back.
Chris says, if you guys took money from Saudi Arabia, I'd be really mad, but I'd get over it. But for these millionaires to take money to kiss up to an actual, it's covered up by the heart. I can't see. So I think that says authoritarian regime is crazy work. And I don't disagree with him. And I think that's what we were saying. It's like, for them, it's significantly different for us to have taken the money. And we're not being offered the money. I don't even want to make it seem for a second that we're in the conversation with Andrew Schultz and Dave
No,
Chappelle.
hypothetically, of course.
We're speaking hypothetically. Yeah, I think it's but it's also one of these things where it's like we gotta stand together, right? There should be no American comedians going out there.
Yeah, there shouldn't be. Yeah, you could see there are certain ones that aren't on that list.
I can't believe Aziz is on there. This guy. You know, like I thought that he was like the ultra, like do the right thing, guys.
I mean, Aziz Ansari, he got put through the ringer. I don't think he's had much work since that bullshit allegation of that chick that like gave him top in a whip and then she like regretted it and called some kind of shit. She's like, you made me. Blah.
That happened?
Yeah, he had like an allegation years back and his career has suffered ever since.
Because he got a blowjob?
Yeah, and then she like was upset about it or some shit. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, you can't have regret dick on your breath. That's crazy. You can't do that. What do you mean you regret? Like, you know, she made it seem like he forced her. I mean, let me not, because I don't know the exact details of it. But I mean, he's a little skinny, vegan kind of Indian guy. I mean, who's he forcing to do anything?
It's not
you know what I'm saying?
I don't even think it'd be easy to get somebody like to force dick sucking.
They got teeth in their mouth. You ever see Shawshank Redemption? Yeah. Where the guy's like, he's like, anything you put in my mouth, you're going to lose. That's what he told the freaking dudes, like the Nazi guys that were trying to make him freaking, you know, perform fellatio. You know, he was like, nah. And he was like, you do that, I'll stick this screwdriver through your ear. And he's like, well, if you do that, he's like, that's actually going to cause a neurological reaction and it's going to cause me to bite down. He's like, that's going to, the guy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? And he's like, yep. He's like, I'll just take that shit right off, bro. Yeah. I don't know what you think is going to happen here.
Should have come home with me.
Yeah, and then he ended up being able to kind of fight his way out of it or something like that. But yeah, dude, that's a tough thing to do. Let me stop. I'm getting too deep in the weeds here.
Yeah, let's stop. Let's get away from forced blowjobs.
I mean, we're past the hour.
We're over the hour. And we're talking about the Saudis. This is getting...
No, we're not talking about them. We got to cut this whole episode in half. This episode is going to be 21 minutes long.
It's getting dicey.
Yeah, it's getting dicey. So we're going to pull.
Don't offer us any money.
No.
USA.
Rory's wife should have ducked.
She should have ducked. You guys might have won this tournament, but fuck you.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
That's it. I hope Rory went to Yankee Stadium before he went home. I hope he went there. He would have got so much love, bro.
I hope he went there and Jeter backdoored his chick while he was fucking throwing the first pitch out. That's what I hope. I hope he went there and Jeter gave him the fucking Bronx lick down as he threw the fucking first pitch. Fuck you. Don't come over to our backyard. Show your ass. No, the Europeans played super well.
Oh my
What are you
God.
gonna do?
All right.
That's it. We are over the hour.
Fair enough. We're over the hour. So Mastodon Podcast, episode 268. Jesus Christ. We went in the weeds way too many times. We're going to have to cut this episode down. But we appreciate everybody that's in the chat. We appreciate everybody that watched the episode, gave it thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you never miss a single live or a single episode that we post or clip or short. So, and you can check us out on all your favorite audio podcast platforms. And if you don't find us on that platform,
Join the Discord.
Bertito.
Join the Discord is harassers to replace the podcast in your obscure podcast listening platform. Go on there to talk shit to us. Go on there and suggest topics. Did we talk about the tiger eating those trainers? We talked about it last week, right?
No, I don't
Spaz
think
posted it.
I don't think we did. We didn't get to talk about it. He posted it since. You want to talk about it real quick?
Tigers. No, we did talk about it last episode.
The tiger that ate that guy?
The trainer. This is the tiger.
No, we didn't. He just posted it like a couple days ago. Yeah, there was a trainer. It was a tiger trainer that worked with Joe Exotic. And he actually got mauled to death during a show. So
If they freed Joe Exotic, I wouldn't even be mad.
I'm looking for the video. Because I'll be honest, when idiots think they could train tigers and those tigers rip them up, I'm curious to see what it was like. Does that make me crazy?
Oh. And also, there was the mass shooting joke was in reference towards church and the word mass, like mass at church.
Jesus Christ, man. You can't make that joke in text. You got to
Yeah,
say that
you
joke
got-
in person, bro. You got to say that when we come and check you and do an episode down there where you're on it.
No, that came. That
Who
went
said
right
that?
over-
Was that Spaz or Chris?
No, it was Chris. It went right over our heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read things quick too. I just
And I'm letting him read it because I can't see it from here because
We
I'm
have a lot of excuses of why we missed that joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. All right.
We
But
appreciate
anyway,
it.
listen, Mastodon Podcast. Make sure you guys check us out. And we're going to be posting some shorts, some clips, and that's it.
That's it. Play the music.